Hello and welcome to VOD of Consciousness with Sientir. I am Sientir. You can support me at patreon.com/Sientir. Whatever business. I'm here for a specific purpose. And that purpose is not to stand around in this random outpost. I in fact came to this random outpost because my intention is to go capture another elite skill. But I have a few outposts in this area that I can go collect, so I'm going to do that. I'm using Lightning Surge, which I captured last time. Hopefully it's fun. Yeah. Okay, what's going to be the... I guess just going this way. I am using Conjure Lightning to go with my Spirit of the Forgotten. There's an outpost up here called Eridon Terrace that I want to go acquire. So I'm going to do that. These guys have a lot of defense, as an aside. That one's not worth using Lightning Surge on, but whatever. I did it anyway. They have a skill called Kappa Shell, which gives them bonus armor. Kappa being a... maybe I don't want to go towards the presumably Necro boss. The Skwo Spreader. Not go over there. Kappa being a type of Japanese demon, actually. More or less, or yokai. It's a little bit more ambiguous and kind of more in the... I don't know. Supernatural, generic supernatural classification sort of category. Wow. I feel like I'm not doing any damage with lightning type damage around here. Like, this is giving me plus 15 damage. So I don't know what's up. Wow, that was an awful lot of rot wallows. Huh. That was an awful lot of rot wallows is what I said and stand by. If I switch over to this one, which is not going to get the bonus from the Conjure Lightning, might be dealing more damage to things. Okay, so that's dealing like 15 sort of range. This is dealing like 12, but then I use the Conjure, and it's dealing like 26, so I guess it's going okay. I don't know, it just feels a little underwhelming to me is all. And then I don't entirely know what to expect, so. Okay, I think up here is probably where the outpost is that I'm looking for. Yeah, there's Eridon Terrace. That wasn't too long of a walk. Now was it? There we go. Remember to take screenshots for thumbnails before the very end of the episode this time. Okay. Now, I'm not really doing a whole lot here. I'm just grabbing the outpost because why not get outposts on my map? It's very useful to have them just in case I want them. Like, if I had the outpost that I'm going to go get, it would be a much shorter trek to go capture the skill that I want to go capture. Right there instead of far away. But anyway. Ow. Let's just relax a little bit. Oh, you're trying to use Resurrect, are you? Resurrect is technically a spell. It is the worst resurrection spell in the game as far as I'm concerned. It's kind of... So sometimes you just make like the generic version of a thing and then you make tweaks on it. The problem is you usually are tweaking the generic version in such a way that you invalidate it. Which has problems. So there's a bunch of different resurrection skills in the game. A lot of them are located in Monk, quite frankly. I kind of want to see what's in this chest. Probably nothing, but I kind of want to open it anyways. So there's like 2 baseline resurrection skills in this game. There's the completely generic resurrection signet. Ooh, I got Naga trappings and I retained my lockpick, so those are both exciting. So like I was saying, there's the completely generic resurrection signet, which is pretty strong, but does not recharge automatically. It only recharges with morale boosts. And then there's kind of the generic spell, reusable spell version of Resurrect, which is Monk's spell. And Resurrect is not very good. It costs like 10 energy, recharges over the course of... Here, I can show you. Okay, so here's Resurrect. 5-second cast time. 8-second recharge is okay, but 5-second cast time is very long. 10 energy. Okay, one moment. I need to figure out how I'm navigating. Can I go up over here? No. Should I have... Oh, I think I should have gone up that way instead of going down that way. Let us correct this error in navigation. And anyway, the other point then is that it's 25% health and no energy, right? This doesn't require any attributes. It has no benefits to speak of. So it's your generic baseline. This is what a resurrection spell is. And when the game first came out, by the game I mean Prophecies. So when Prophecies was released, all of your resurrection... Actually, I think all of your repeatable resurrection skills were in Monk. There's a couple Paragon resurrects. There's a couple ritualist resurrect skills. But I think Monk was the only one to actually have resurrection spells. But anyway, there's some weird like PvE only special cases as well. But Resurrect, like I said, is the baseline. But the problem is, as the baseline, everything else is a better version. So it's not very good. Oh, that might be the boss that I was coming here for. Or it might not be. Well, what do you have? What is your business up to? You have an elite skill. You're clearly lightning, Ellie. Well, what do you have? Oh, that's another lightning surge boss. How quaint. So anyway, there's basically those 2 baseline skills. So there's a couple of other resurrection signets, and they're always going to be compared to resurrection signet, the generic one. And then there's a bunch of other resurrection spells, which compare generally very favorably. Now, resurrection signet right here has a 3-second activation time, very quick. They have 100% health and 25% energy, but only recharges with the morale boost. So it's strong, like it's a very effective resurrection spell, in that it resurrects them with, full health and a good chunk of their energy. And 3 seconds is a very quick activation, relatively speaking. But the downside is you can only use it once until you get a morale boost, which is a big setback. So sometimes you want a repeatable option. So there are a few things that you can use signet-wise. There's Death Pact Signet right here. With your current health and 77% maximum energy, that's pretty strong, but if they die anytime in the next 2 minutes, you also go down. So this is like a variant on Resurrection Signet, right? And then there is also, under Paragon, there's Signet of Return. Much longer activation time, and the amount of health and energy is dependent upon the number of party members in earshot when you do the resurrection. So, like, it's a repeatable resurrection skill. That's a signet, so it doesn't have any energy costs, but it has a catch. right? And that catch is it's a longer activation time than the other Signet type resurrects, and it has a few other downsides as well. Was I supposed to turn up at some point in time? Is there an upwards path over here? Sorry, I don't know this zone very well because it's in Luxon territory, and I've generally not spent very much time here. So I'm a wee bit lost. So yeah, the long story short, like, Resurrect is terrible and never gets used because it is very weak. Yeah, I completely missed this side path. What you'll see me generally throwing on my heroes is Resurrection Chant, which gives, like right here, this has 2 points in healing prayers, and you can see 6-second activation, but some faster because it's on a Mesmer, but you know, it's a bit slower than Resurrect, has a bit longer recharge, same energy cost, but they have your current health at 9% energy, so it has a chance to resurrect them with more than 25% health, and it has some energy that they get. Half the normal range is a real downside, however, so that shouldn't be kind of ignored, but that I think is kind of the standard to resurrect because of how much health it can resurrect someone with. There's a bunch of other options, but the ritualist one that I tend to use is Flesh of My Flesh, which this guy actually has a pretty good spec in Restoration Magic. Gives him some amount of energy, but you trade half your health. It does not have cooldown and only costs 5 energy, and has a 4-second cast time, which is short for spells. So, anyway, the long story short, there's different trade-offs for different things. And the baseline Resurrect is generally the worst of the resurrection spells. It's the simplest and most generic, but it's also kind of the least effective. What's really interesting is they don't make a version that's just like, yeah, it's this, but better. Right? There's not, strictly speaking, that sort of skill in this game. Okay, there's the other outpost that I wanted to get to. So, like, under Divine Favor, there's a couple of resurrection options that are like this, for example, is a wonky resurrect. But generally, Divine Favor doesn't really have any resurrects. I would potentially consider putting Resurrect under Divine Favor, like just this spell, instead of having it. I mean, I can see an argument for putting it here, but I can also see an argument for having a version that goes up in here that has scaling with it, but there isn't one. So in Healing Prayers, there is like Resurrection Chant, which is pretty popular, but there's also like Renew Life, which is a touch range spell. You have to get right next to them. So 50% health, some energy, and then all allies are healed. Obviously, it's a bit better if you spec into it. Let's see. And then I think that's... Yeah, and then there's Restore Life, which is another touch range one. And this one is really gives you a lot of energy compared to most resurrection skills. But again, it's touch range, and low health is sometimes a pretty big downside. Actually, most of the time is. Under Protection Prayers, there's a few others. One that was quite popular. I'm just scanning through all the skills just to kind of keep track. Rebirth is very popular. It doesn't have a recharge, and it says it costs 10 energy, but it actually drains all of your energy. And it resurrects them with a set amount of health and no energy. Like, this is basically Resurrect without a recharge, but consumes all of your remaining energy, but it teleports them to your current location. That's a real teleport as well. It's not one of those, like, shadow step things that requires you to be able to path. This is an actual teleport. And it disables all of their skills for a little bit. This one is really popular because if somebody goes and dies in a mob, you can kind of potentially be able to stand out of aggro range of the mob, resurrect them, and have them teleport to you safely. So especially back in the day, this was extremely popular. If you put this on a hero, do not let them cast it, because they will just wreck everything. I think that's like the only res in Protection Prayers, though. And then there's also Vengeance, which is it brings them back with like full health and energy, and they deal more damage, but it's an enchantment that's on them, and when the enchantment ends, they go back down. There's also Light of Duena, which is not very good. 25 energy. 4-second cast time is kind of quick, but it's kind of like resurrect for all party members in the area, which is actually kind of a smaller range than you'd think. I would never, ever bring this over... I should put 1 point in command here. I would never, ever bring it over We Shall Return. Because this right here, with like 2 spec points, is going to return them with more health and some energy, and it activates instantly. Which is so much stronger. It's kind of ridiculous. So, yeah, it just would make no sense to me to use. Anyway, that's me reviewing resurrection skills. At some point in time, I need to sit down and actually do like a bunch of skill reviewing stuff. I was actually kind of thinking about making... looks like this boss is right over here. Crash Elder Guardian. I was actually thinking about making videos reviewing every single skill in the game. I don't know if I'll do that or not. It's an interesting idea, but it sounds like it could take a while. Okay. Yeah, I'm here for Unsteady Ground, which is very annoying. I don't know how good it'll be for me to use. What Unsteady Ground does is it causes knockdown to anyone attacking in its AoE. That's a weird build. I will take that. Thank you. Okay, the rest of my party doesn't really need to survive here. I got what I came for. Okay, well, I mean, I guess we're kind of killing these guys. I don't object to getting some XP here. Let's throw out this unsteady ground. Hey, Worth. Got a purple die. Yeah, you just saw the knockdown kick in. Cool. So that's one of the elementalist elites I wanted to go grab. Oh boy. Where are we in this episode? We are 17 minutes in. You know what I think sounds like a fantastic idea? Terrible idea. Let's go... Actually, okay. So I want to go back there at some point in time. So let's just do kind of a little circuit of random stuff that I want to go grab. I'm just going to jump over to Matu Keep for a moment because I need more... There's 3 more elite skills that I'm looking at that I'm wanting to capture, and I am out of elite signets of capture at the moment. So I'm going to do the obvious thing and acquire more signets of capture. Boy, I got a bunch of junk in here. To improve sale value. Oh yeah, the random superior restoration. That's going to be worth bumpkus. Lighters is going to as well, I imagine. Okay. Let's just salvage that. I'm going to hang on to it just because I'm going to check. Okay. Burning Earth. Is this the one? Yeah, that's the one that does the knockdown. That's cool. Cool, that's what I wanted there. This is just like one of those almost but not quite worth it spells. Yeah. There's a bunch of elemental skills that just don't really work unless you are... what's the phrase? Using... the attunements and stuff, which I don't really have space for. Okay. I want to go back to doing this weird lightning surge thing. Yeah, sure, why not? Seems reasonable. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. We're good. Really want that. Find something a little bit more interesting. Man, that is not more interesting. Blazing Spear, why are you just like generically the best attack? Wild Throw is just kind of a good whatever, though. Man, all of these uninteresting spears. Okay. I'm going to use this portal just because it gets me to where I'm going without party fuss. I need to go to Thunderhead Keep. So I want to go capture a real cool air elite. Is all of my stuff... This is not how I look at my armor. Oh, 2 million experience has been passed at some point. Okay, everything's infused. That is important. I do love myself some Shiver Peak music. This is going to be so annoying. So annoying. So... okay. I don't even know if this is the best way to try to get... Okay, looks like I just need to go around this thing. Can I see through... Oh, this is a question. I cannot see through that. I think I need to go right here. So this is a Prophecies boss that I'm hunting down. I'm specifically hunting down a Mersat. I want to... and these are old school Jade, not our newfangled ones. But I want to get myself Thunderclap, which is kind of an Prophecies only skill. And it's the Mersat elite. And very good. Yes, please use physical resistance more. Physical resistance is one of the skills. There's two of them, as you might guess. Physical resistance and elemental resistance, I want to say it was. But physical resistance increases your armor against physical damage, but decreases your armor against elemental damage. So when they use physical resistance, the fact that I am dealing lightning damage comes to bite them in the rear because it means they take more damage from my attacks rather than less as a result. Yeah, I'm not going to go pick up this chest because... So, somewhere over here, I think up in that group, is the potential for some Mersat bosses to spawn. And what I'm looking for is the Elementalist, naturally, because that's what I'm trying to capture. They don't have a specific name, they're just generic, Mersat Elementalist, Mersat Mesmer, etc. So I'm just hoping find the one I'm looking for quickly. But they like to randomize the actual spawn location because it's annoying. Ooh, that guy got wrecked. Oh yeah. I definitely do not want to wild throw him. If I wild throw him, it would end that stance that's causing me to deal more damage, which is obviously inferior. It's a Necromancer boss. Okay, so that guy has life transfer. I don't need to deal with him. I think there's only going to be one boss per group. I guess I should double check. I don't know why there would be more than one boss per group. Yeah, just the Mersat Necromancer. So I don't want to fight the Necromancer. There's literally no reason to fight that group of enemies, so I might as well not do so. And instead, I want to make my way over here. This group also has a boss. I don't know if I get to it from up here. Jade Bow. is the Jade freaking bow. Okay. There are a couple of other locations. I think what makes most sense is to come back to Thunderhead Keep and respawn. There's 2 other locations it could spawn at, but since it's just literally randomized each time, it seems faster to me to come back here and go back out than to like keep going through the zone multiple times, if that makes sense. Makes sense in my head anyway. Yes, make me move faster, I say. Ooh, highly salvageable. Ooh, that's a lot of iron. I like a lot of iron. Should keep my eyes open for sure for peak chests, because it's probably worth opening. If I run across any that are not, like, embedded in groups of enemies. Anyway. A lot of little assets in this map, back. Okay, I'm gonna need to fight this group, but that's okay. Okay, this guy should not be in our back line. Let's get this guy out of our back line. Alright, we have water magic stuff going on. That's snaring that guy. Again, physical resistance being used. Plus 40 armor against physical damage, but you lose armor against elemental damage. It's, I mean, technically you're gaining armor overall, but when I'm dealing elemental damage, I can't help but feel like it's a poor trade-off. Do you want to pick up these gold drops? If you're making money in this game, you're doing it by picking up your drops. Okay. Those guys can go kill spirits, that's fine. Well, I didn't really want to enter resistance there. Ooh, Mersat token. Don't mind if I do. You clear out these guys coming up behind us, though. Don't need them there. I have to admit that knockdown is very useful. There we go. Finish it off with the old wait 3 seconds for the spell to activate plan. We might be going through this area a couple of times. Okay, a couple of Mersat Mesmers. Ah, there's a Mersat Monk. Didn't want to aggro this group, but apparently did anyway, so... I would like to pick up these. Cool. Okay. Necromancer Mesmer. Ah, the Mesmer is not what I'm looking for. Not what I'm looking for. Monk. Okay, monk down, which is good. Enemy monk down. Enemy monk's down is good. Our monk being down is bad. But, well, I mean, you can finish this guy. Fine. Beginning to wonder if maybe I should just call this episode and start up the next one when I've run into the end. Looking for. That's the friggin' warrior. That is an awful lot of ice imps. All I'm going to say about that group. Well, I mean, it's back to HK. Little Thunderhead Keep. Where are we at in time? I've got the map open, but I don't really... Okay. Where are we at in time, OBS? We're at half an hour. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and call it here because I don't feel like it makes for very interesting whatever. And Prophecies bosses like this suck. And I guess I will open up next time with me having found the boss, maybe? I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, take care, everyone. Bye-bye. Late wave. Should have hit that earlier. Like, comment, and subscribe.